Welcome back everyone. Ready to crush another daily problem? Today we are looking at Leetcode explained, minimum score of a path between two cities. Real quick, as always, if you get confused at any point in this video, please drop a comment down below. I'll be reading them and I'll do my best to help you out. Here is the problem page. It's got quite a few rules, so let's break it down into plain English and figure out what it actually wants us to do. We are given a number n, which represents a bunch of cities. These cities are connected by a network of roads. Every road goes in both directions, and importantly, every single road has a distance attached to it. Our mission is to start our journey at city number 1 and figure out a path that eventually lands us at city n. But we aren't looking for the shortest path. The score of our trip is simply the distance of the absolute smallest road we drive on during our journey. We want to find a path that makes this score as low as possible. Here is the massive trick to this problem. The rules state we can drive back and forth on the exact same roads as many times as we want, and visit cities as many times as we want. So why does that matter? What does being able to turn around actually mean for our strategy? It means that if there is a super tiny road anywhere in our connected network, we can just take a detour, drive over that tiny road, and then turn around and drive all the way back. Because we can always backtrack, the problem is actually much simpler than it seems. We don't need a direct path. We just need to find the absolute smallest road anywhere in the connected group of cities that includes City 1 and City N. So how do we find all the cities in our connected network? We can use a classic approach called breadth first search, or BFS for short. The idea is simple. We start at City 1, look at all the roads connected to it, write down if we see a new smallest distance, and then move to those connected cities to repeat the process. First, we need to organize our roads. We build a dictionary called graph. For every road, we tell the starting city about the destination and the distance, and we do the same in reverse, because the roads are two-way. Next, we set up our tools. We start our answer at infinity so any real road will be smaller. We create a visited set so we don't go in circles, and we put City 1 into a line, or a queue to start exploring. Now for the main loop. As long as we have cities in our line, we take the next one out. We look at every neighbor connected to it. We immediately check if this road is the new smallest road. Finally, if we haven't visited that neighbor yet, we mark it as visited and add it to the back of our line. Here is the full code for that approach all put together. It systematically sweeps through the entire connected map and finds the smallest link. You might be wondering, what if there are weird edge cases that break this? What if the roads form a circle? Our code handles this perfectly. That visited set we created ensures we only process a city once, so we'll never get stuck driving in circles forever. What if there is a group of cities completely cut off from the rest? Well, the problem description guarantees there is always a valid path from 1 to n. So we only care about the network connected to City 1 anyway. The disconnected ones don't matter. There is actually a second way to solve this. Using a structure called union find. Instead of simulating a journey from city to city, union find just looks at every road and says, okay, these two cities belong in the same group. While it groups the cities, it also keeps a running record of the absolute smallest road that belongs to that specific group. Here is the code for the union find approach. It defines a find function to see which group a city is in, and a union function to merge groups and update the smallest road. At the end, we just ask for the smallest road in City 1's group. So how efficient are these solutions? The time complexity is big O of n plus e, where n is the number of cities and e is the number of roads. This is because we have to look at every city and every road at least once. The space complexity is also big O of n plus e, because we have to store that entire network map in our memory. Let's summarize the key takeaways. First, reading the constraints is everything. Realizing we could backtrack turned a hard pathfinding problem into a simple search. Second, breadth first search is your best friend for exploring connected networks. And lastly, union find is a powerful alternative when you just need to know which items belong in the same group. Before we get to the other languages, I want to quickly mention I've updated the format of these videos to make them punchier and more visual. Please let me know in the comments if you prefer this style or if you have any feedback. I really appreciate it. Also, you can probably tell this is narrated by AI. I built this automated system to generate clear explanations the second a daily problem drops, so I can learn faster. I upload them to help you study too, with absolutely no ads and no sponsorships to get in the way. Alright, as promised, let's look at the solutions in other languages. You don't have to pause and type these. You can just grab them directly from my website using the link in the description. Here is the full breadth first search solution written in Java. Next up, Here is the exact same logic written out for C++. And finally, here is the solution in JavaScript, using an array to act as our queue. Before we finish, I have a second channel called Leetcode Unlocked, where I am trying to build a library for literally every problem on the platform. Go check it out if you want to practice more than just the dailies. If you want to help support the channel and keep these fast, ad-free explanations coming, you can donate at buymeaboba.com/leetcodedaily. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you can crush the daily challenge tomorrow. Keep coding, and I'll see you then.